Hello soulmates, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial video, I'll be teaching you guys how to cut and sew this beautiful dress you're seeing on your screen. We're going to be starting with the pattern drafting, and in my next video I'll be teaching you guys how to sew. So let's get started. Now I've already relaxed my line on my pattern paper, as you can see. So I'm going to be labeling my shoulder line, my chest line, my bust line, my under bust line, and then my waistline. Sorry. So now we're going to take in our shoulder measurements. The shoulder measurement for my client was 7.5, and I used 3 inches for my neck width. And then I'm going to cut down the shoulder point by 0.75 inch for my shoulder slope, and then I'll use my ruler to connect, as you can see. Then I'm also going to be taking the shoulder measurements on my chest line so that I can form our armhole. After doing that, I'll use my ruler to connect these 2 points together. Then the next thing we're going to be doing, we're going to be taking our measuring, we're going to be marking the line divided by 2, and whatever we get to come out by 1/2 inch to get our armhole curve. To get your chest line or your armhole line, first of all, I'm going to take my bust measurements divided by 4, and I'll mark it. So I was saying, to get your armhole line, you divide your round bust measurement by 6. Whatever you get, add 1.5. So now I'm going to be using my ruler to connect the 3 points together to form our armhole curve, as you can see. Then the next thing we're going to be doing, I'm going to be going up at my shoulder by 1/2 inch. This is for our shoulder joining. I'll use my ruler to connect it together. Then I'm going to be taking my nipple to nipple measurements. My nipple to nipple is 8, divided by 2 is 4. So I took my nipple to nipple measurements on my chest line and also on my waistline, and then I'll connect together with a straight line. Then after doing that, we're going to be taking our dart on our waistline, 1/2 inch on both sides. A nipple to nipple line was supposed to start from our chest line, so I took my from our bust line. So I took mine from the chest line, so I just tried to clean it out, and then I drew my dart from my under bust. So I decided to clean out the lines from the under bust upwards because we're trying to draw a cup. So on my chest line, I went up by 1.5. You can go up by 2 inches, 1 inch, depends on how covered you want your bust to be. I first wanted to go up by 1.5, but later I went up by 2 inches, as you can see. Then on that new chest line, I went in by 1/2 inch, and now I'm going to use my curve rule to connect a curve like a cup from that 1/2 inch I went in by to my under bust, as you can see. Then after doing that, I decided to come in from the new chest line by 1.5, and then I make a slope to my neckline, so that's to form a sweetheart, like a form of a sweetheart neckline, as you can see. And then I'm going to be using my cover to create another cup from my bust points where I mark my bust points. Just look at what I'm doing and then do the same. So I divided my bust point by 2, and then I'm going to be making a curve, as you can see, creating a second cup. Now we have our full cup. Connected it from my armhole down to my underbust. See? So I measured the distance between that little space there, and then I divided it by 2, and then I make a curve. Now this is what we have. Now I'm going to be taking my waist measurement. Take my waist measurements divided by 4 and mark, and add my 1-inch dart, and then I usually use 2.5 for my seam allowance. You can use whatever one that suits you. Then I use my cuff to connect it together. Now I'm going to cut it out. So this is it after I was done cutting it out. As you can see, this is what we have. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing to create that ruchness, that milk type of cup, I'm going to be dividing my pattern paper, as you can see, into 4 pieces or 5 pieces, depends on what works for you. And then I'll spread it out. This is what we call slash and spread. So just look at what I'm doing. So I'm going to be using 1.5. Every 1.5 inches I mark 1.5 I mark. So you can also do the same. And then I'll use my ruler to rule a straight line so that I'll know where I will cut. Then after ruling it, I'm also going to label them and put my arrows so that when I'm arranging on a bigger pattern paper, I'll know which is which. So I labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm also going to use, so I'm going to be cutting this out. So I'm trying to arrange them on my paper, on a bigger pattern paper, so that I can spread it out. So I'm going to be using 2.5 inch for my spreading. As you can see, I'm going to be using 2.5. You can use 2, you can use 3, you can use 1, you can use 1.5, whatever works for you. So for mine, I'm going to be using 2.5. So after 2.5 inch, I'll put my paper and I'll use my pin to hold it down. You can also use your sellotape to hold it, or I'm using pin to hold mine. So this side looks like. I'll spread it out as you can see. Now I'm going to be using my free hand to, you can also use your free hand to make the curve. At first I wanted to use my curve rule, but later I just decided to use my free hand to blend, to connect the curve together, as you can see me doing. If the video is too slow, you can put it on ×2 so that it will be faster for you, so don't waste your time. So now I'm going to cut it out. So now we're going to be closing our darts. There will be no dart at the front of this dress, so I'll just split and then I'll close it. So I use my masking tape to hold it down. Using closing the dart, as you can see. So now I've already ruled out my back pattern. It's just the normal basic body, the shoulder, the chest line, under bust line, and then the bust line and the waistline. There's no other bust line, but there's no bust at the back. So now I'm already going to rule out my armhole, as you can see. So what I'm going to be doing now is to draw our darts. So rule out straight line, and then I'll take my darts. So I'm going to be taking my waist measurements. So my waist divided by 4. Then I'll add 1 inch for that, and then I'll add my seam allowance. Then I'll be taking my bust measurements, and then add my seam allowance to it as well. Then I use my curve rule to connect the points together. Now on the waistline, at the zipper line, I'm going to be going in by 1/2 inch. So I'm going to be connecting from that 1/2 inch point all the way to the neckline. This is to avoid zipper bulge. Now I'm going to cut it out. So I'm going to cut out the back pattern, labeling it the back, and then the front pieces, as you can see. And then the sleeve area, we labeled it the yoke. So this is how it looks like after I was done cutting out on my actual fabric. As you can see, cut out both the material and also the lining. So I'm going to be lining the cup, sew the bottom part, and then I'll fold in the upper part for elastic to go through. I'm also going to line in the lower part, and then I'll also line the back and then other pieces. Thank you so much for watching the pattern drafting and the cutting. In our next video, we'll be doing the sewing tutorial. See you guys in my next one. Bye.